And I know what you're thinking. Dude, you're Canadian. You can't have handguns. Well, we can have handguns. This is a, if you haven't figured it out already, anybody that owns an actual bretta 92, 96, whatever it is, they probably already figure out what this thing is. Well, this isn't a real handgun per se. It's not considered a firearm. This is actually a BB gun. Now, as a Canadian, the reason why I want to show you a video like this, this is a kind of a cool little training tool. Because there are very little to no restrictions on these, which means basically you can do your tactical training, you can do all kinds of training with this. People that don't have firearms license, they want to learn how to shoot. This is probably one of the safest ways to do it. That said, you may find this hard to believe, but people have died by being shot by BB guns. You know, I'll do some demos with this just to show you treat this the same way you treat any firearm. Even though it might not be classified as a firearm, it doesn't mean it can't hurt you, or it's more likely to hurt you than kill you, but it's still, you know, nobody wants to get shot by anything. So this is just a little, what's it called, Elite 2. It is made by Bretta, or it is a Bretta product, but it's made in Taiwan for import to the USA, to be exported up to Canada. You get the idea. Got a safety on the side here. You know, and you can practice all how you hold a firearm. You know, safety first. Take the safety off just so you guys can practice your trigger control. You see that, you know. So, and I'm surprised how much control it is. But the training tool, you know, like you can really get this thing, you know, as a good training tool. And again, there's no noise, so you're not disturbing your neighbors. That said, although there are almost no gun laws whatsoever, or rules pertaining to these BB guns here in Canada, there are some. There's an age restriction. I can't remember what the minimum age is, but there's also, for example, if you were to walk into an airport, a bank, or something like that, and try to, or a corner store and try to hold it up, you would get charged as if you used a real firearm. One thing, kids will get these, and if you're one of those absentee parents, you're not going to watch a video like this and take it much merit, but this will make life easier for everybody else. As if, let's say a kid's playing cops and robbers and he's shooting tin cans or whatever, and a cop comes along and he sees a cop. As soon as he sees the cop, this is what he's supposed to do, and yell BB gun. Never mind breaking it. Who cares if it breaks? Why? Because cops will see this at 10 feet. They can't tell if it's real or not. You could put that orange thing on the end. It don't matter. To somebody who doesn't know any difference, I'm sorry I'm pointing this at you. I don't like the idea of pointing a firearm at anybody, but again, can you tell if it's real or not? Now you're probably saying, because it looks so real, people shouldn't have them. Absolutely not. Everybody should have one. But again, if you see a cop and you have one this, that's all you do. Try not to break it, but you get the idea. You know, it's about safety. And that's an education and training issue. Now, let's say someday we do get the right to use a firearm for self-defense in Canada. Excellent training tool. Cheap to shoot. I mean, for like $8 or $10, you can shoot like 1,500 rounds or something like that. I mean, it's ridiculously cheap. There's no recoil. You can practice excellent marksmanship because of the fact that when you're holding it, okay, you get proper grip. Right now, because I'm holding the camera, I can't. But you get the idea. You know, you can really work on that trigger control. And because there's no recoil, you can concentrate on that. So when you do get a firearm with real recoil, then what happens is you kind of, you know, the shot becomes a surprise and your accuracy improves. But anyway, I'm going to put links below for the Conservative Party so that you can call them, tell them you want the right to carry in Canada. Please do some research on it. 60 to 80,000 times a year Canadians use firearms in self-defense, even though we don't have the right to carry. It's mostly farmers and stuff. I think that needs to be taken into consideration, considering that only about 140 to 180 people per year murdered by firearms, and there's about 40,000 firearms-related crimes in Canada, and most of them are probably paperwork, you know, not registered, not having PA, all that type of thing. But that said, 60 to 80,000 times a year people use firearms in self-defense in Canada. So what that means is people are more likely to do good with firearms with training and education than not. All right, there we go. Okay, I got a handgun review for you today, and I know what you're thinking. Dude, you're Canadian, you can't have handguns. Well, we can have handguns. This is a, if you haven't figured it out already, anybody that owns an actual Bretta 92, 96, whatever it is, they probably already figure out what this thing is. Well, this isn't a real handgun per se. It's not considered a firearm. This is actually a BB gun. Now, as a Canadian, the reason why I want to show you a video like this, this is a kind of a cool little training tool. because there are very little to no restrictions on these, which means basically you can